Hello and welcome back to Poetic Insight, your go-to series for exploring the beautiful world of poetry from the CBSE for classes 9 to 12. I'm your Neelama and today we are delving into a profound and meditative poem, Keeping Quiet, by the legendary Pablo Neruda. In a world that is constantly buzzing with activity and noise, this poem serves as a gentle and powerful reminder of the value of silence and introspection. So, we find quiet spot, take a deep breath, and let's journey into the heart of this beautiful piece. Now, introduction about poem. Before we unpack the poem itself, let's take a moment to understand the brilliant mind who penned it, Pablo Neruda. Born in 1904, he adopted the pen name Pablo Neruda at a young age. Neruda was not just a poet, he was a diplomat, a politician, and a passionate voice for the people. His life was whirlwind of creative expression and political activism, and his experience deeply shaped his writing. Neruda's work is celebrated for its unreal imagery, its profound humanity, and its ability to capture the essence of life, love, and struggle. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971, with a committee recognizing his poetry as bringing alive a continent's destiny and dreams, keeping quiet. It is a perfect example of his ability to convey a deep and universal message through simple and evocative language. Now, introduction about the poem. Keeping Quiet is essentially a call for a universal ceasefire, not just for war, but from all the frantic and often destructive activities that consume our life. The poem proposes a radical idea that by collectively observing a moment of stillness and silence, we can foster a sense of unity and understanding that transcend all boundaries. The central theme is the transformative power of introspection. Neruda suggests that this brief pause will be an exotic moment, a rare instance of shared humanity in our otherwise fragmented world. It is a poem that doesn't advocate for idealness, but rather for a conscious and reflective pause that can lead to a more peaceful and harmonious existence. Now, let's walk through the poem stanza by stanza to truly grasp its meaning. Now, we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. The poem opens with a simple, direct instruction. The act of counting to 12 is symbolic. It could represent the hour on a clock, governing our daily routines or the moment of a year, marking a complete cycle. It is a small, finite period, suggesting that this exercise is stillness is achievable. Now, the next line. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. According to Neruda, he explained his call to a global scale by suggesting we not speak in any language. He points to how language, which is meant to connect us, can also be a source of division and conflict. The phrase, not move our arms so much, has a dual meaning. Literally, it means to keep physical activity. Metaphorically, it is a power plea to end all forms of violence. As arms are often a synonym for weapons. Now the next line. It could be an exotic moment. Without rush, without injury, we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. The poet imagines this moment of collective quiet as exotic, something strange and wonderful. The absence of the rush and the noise of engine signifies a break from the relentless machinery of modern life. In this shared silence, a sense of unity would emerge, a sudden strangeness, because true silence, togetherness, is an experience foreign to our busy world. Now move towards the next line. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hand. Here, Neruda gives us concrete example of what this introspection would achieve. The fisherman represents humanity's thoughtless exploitation of nature. In the quiet moment, they would cease their harmful action. The man gathering salt symbolizes the common man, the laborer who is so consumed by his work that he never stops to acknowledge his own suffering. The stillness would give him moment to look at the hurt hand, to recognize the toll his labor takes on him. Now look at the next line. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victories with no survivor, would put on ocean clothes and walk labor with their brothers. In the shade, doing nothing. Now the explanation. The poem then addresses the creator of conflict. Green wars are wars against our environment. Wars with gas, wars with fire refer to brutal realities of human warfare. Neruda highlights the ultimate futilities of such conflicts, which result in victories with no survivor. He imagined that in this moment of quiet, even these warmongers would shed their destructive ideologies, symbolized by putting on clean clothes and walk alongside their former enemies as brothers, enjoying a moment of peace in the sea. Now, the next line. What I want should not be confused with the total inactivity. Life is what it's about. I want no truck with death. The poet takes a crucial clarification. He is not promoting laziness or a complete shutdown. This is not an endorsement of total inactivity. The global is not death, but a richer, more meaningful life. He wants no truck with death, meaning he has no association with the destructive forces that stillness is mean to counter. Now look at the next line. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. According to the poet, here he critiques our modern obsession with being constantly busy, a single-minded focus on keeping our lives moving. He suggests that his relentless phase leads to a profound sadness that comes from never understanding ourselves. This back of one awareness is what leads us to be self-destructive, constantly threatening ourselves with death. A huge silence, he proposes, could be the interruption we need to break his sad cycle. Now, look at the next line. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Looking for a teacher, the poet turns to nature. The earth itself provides the perfect example. In winter, everything appears dormant and dead. But this is a necessary period of quiet regeneration that leads to the vibrant life of spring. The earth teaches us that stillness is not an end, but a necessary phase for renewal and the growth. Now look at the next line. Now I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. The poem concludes by coming full circle. The poet reiterates his call to action. His final line, and I will go, is significant. It implies that he has delivered his message, planted the seed of an idea, and now it is up to us, the reader, to continue this practice of keeping quiet. The responsibility is now ours. Now the poetic device is in the poem. To achieve its powerful effect, keeping quiet employs several literary devices. Let's look at a few. So first one is symbolism. This is the central of the poem. The number 12 symbolizes time. Fisherman and the salt gather symbolizes humanity's relationship with nature and with itself. Clean clothes symbolizes peace and a changes of perspective. The earth is a powerful symbol of rebirth and the wisdom of stillness. Now the next poetic device, repetition. The line, now we will count to 12, is repeated to emphasize the central action the poet wants us to take. The word is repeated to stress the various forms of conflict we engage in. Now the next poetic device is metaphor. The hurt hands of the salt gathered is a metaphor for human suffering. The same where the warmongers walk with their brothers is a metaphor for a place of peace and the reconciliation. Now the next one, antithesis. The poet creates a clear contrast between stillness and the movement, silence and language, life and death. For instance, he says his desire for quiet should not be confused with the total inactivity, thereby highlighting his true intention. Now the next poetic device is personification. Neruda gives human quality to the earth when he said, perhaps the earth can teach us. This elevates nature to the status of a wise guide. Now the next one is anaphora. The repetition of let's at the beginning of the consecutive line in the second stanza. Let's not speak, let's stop, creates a unifying and the persuasive tone. In conclusion, keeping quiet is more than just a poem. It is a meditation. It is an invitation to step back from the quest of our life and find clarity, connection and peace in the simple act of being still. That's all the time we have for today on Poetic Insights. I hope this discussion has given you a deeper appreciation for Neruda's masterpiece. What does the idea of keeping quiet mean to you? Let's know in the comment below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more poetic exploration. Until next time, as the poem suggests, take a moment to be quiet.